So hello everyone, hopefully you can hear me with this wind we got going out here. Wind picked up a little bit, was going to do some spraying tonight. Instead, we're out working on a couple of these food plots, getting this one shaped up, and then we'll probably get only this one done tonight. But we're going to talk about why it's so important to have different sections in food plots, different types of plantings, everything like that, and the reasons why it looks like I'm a bad mower. If you've seen that, I think it's a Geico commercial or whatever, or a motorcycle commercial where the guy's got his paint lines all over. It's kind of what my mowing lines look like, but there's a reason for that. So I want to start right off with, and we'll leave the headphones right here by the big rock, and I sprayed this section off. Talk about everything we've done in this plot so far this year, and different blends we've put in different areas, different reasons because of that. So this strip right here on the top that's been sprayed off once, we had some problem weeds in this, and this is probably going to go to an annual screen. I'll spray this again. So I have 2 sprays on this before the annual screen goes in, probably on this strip. And you can see it right here. Got a nice delineated line where I've already sprayed, because this is where the planting is, the northwest corner. This is going to be annual screen because it breaks this plot up nice. This is a huge food plot, but it's broke up into, I think we have 5 different food plot plantings on this plot. Because of that, it gives us different diversity, different seasons, different palatabilities, everything like that. It's all for a reason, and planting with a purpose. Can't stress that enough. So northwest corner, this is a gorgeous stand of winter wheat right here. This is mostly on variety. It just happens to be, got it from a local feed mill, Thorn Farms over there. But this is gorgeous. I got no problem weeds. This was sprayed twice and then planted in. And as you can see, the wheat is doing phenomenal right now. It's waist high on me right here, and just a solid stand of it. And that's what we wanted with this. We had some really bad problem curly dock in this field, and I'm not even seeing any bolting out here, which is perfect. 2 kills on that. Had a glide kill, 2,4-D kill. Had to get ahead of the problem weeds we had in this, because this was overrun with curly dock. And right now it's looking amazing. So that's the reason why the northwest is going to get left. We talked about leaving this standing for wildlife. I had turkey poults in a similar food plot on the other side of the road that were out bugging with this and with mama turkey, and so that's great, showing how good this is. I filmed multiple bucks in multiple years in winter wheat fields with standing soybeans in the neighborhood, and I had big mature bucks hitting this winter wheat when this protein bumps and this head becomes palatable for deer. Great bugging habitat for the turkeys, and great forage for the whitetails when that seed head matures, and it's a great cover crop right now. I'm not having any weed issues in this. This is perfect. So that was monoculture type planting of a cereal grain, because I needed to get rid of those problem weeds, and I wanted to get a second spraying on that late curly dock. And because of that, I went with a September, I think it was like last day or 2 of August, maybe 1st of September, when I planted that. I'll put the notes in the description on the northwest corner. And then we have this side, which looks like I said, somebody went through it all willy-nilly with a mower. And the reason with that is this was a multi-species planting, planted in fairly reasonable type strips with a 4-wheeler spreader. My fiance actually planted this as I was broadcasting in the plot we'll look at on the south side of this field. Might be even a part 2 video. So we'll talk about the north end, and we'll do a second video for the south end. That way I don't overwhelm you guys with info. But again, this was planted crimson clover winter wheat blend, and then we had strips of turnips in this as well. So as you can see, this is real nice. I'm going to leave this pocket of wheat right here because it's fairly weed free. Got great crimson clover coming up in it. Another great bugging, brooding habitat for the turkeys right here. And then we'll go down the hill to some of the strips of turnips, which are getting mowed off. Another pocket of wheat. We're leaving it. I'll come out and do some hand pulling on the turnips that are still left out here on a different day. But as you can see right here, I started mowing. This was a strip of turnips, strip of crimson clover, kind of turnipy a little bit, and then more turnips down below where you can see if I can get that to focus in. We'll get down there. So this was mowed off. It's actually had some residual clover on this hillside, so this will come in real nice after a haircut. We'll take this pocket out right here. You can see where it's different right here in the video, and we'll leave that strip of nice wheat on the top. We'll take this little pocket of turnips out, and then we'll probably plant anything that was turnips that we're mowing right now. We will probably spray that off unless the clover comes back really solid, and then it'll be all willy-nilly. Don't need straight lines. Wildlife or species of edge, people call it. I don't like calling it that. They're species of diversity, and you just get edge in that, so we relate that as humans because that's how we think. We think in a very straight mindset that it's either straight line, it's edge, whatever. So you can find them in that, but you find them in the diversity of it, whether that's topography, whether that's habitat features, forages, whatever. So this right here will get mowed off. The clover should come back, maybe not. This is my first year really playing around with a lot of crimson clover in a blend. So we'll see how this takes. But a lot of this looks like it's going to seed right now. As you can see, it's dropped all of its petals, forming seed. So we'll see, maybe it won't come back, maybe it will, but it's like an annual, biennial clover type thing. So you're gonna see some regen with that. But if not, if we don't get a bunch of clover bouncing back in a week or two, we'll spray this off, we'll buckwheat it, and then we'll plant it again. So that pocket's coming out, like we talked about. This is gonna stay pretty much though. I just got, like I said, just a little bit of turnips I gotta pull out of that. And then, a little pocket of wheat right here we left. Real nice pocket, good stand of wheat. Came out a little heavy in the spreader there, must be. And that's the only reason. So as you can see, this will be coming off. And we'll see how this bounces back. And if it ends up being I gotta spray some but not all, we'll do it that way. Another little pocket of wheat, I left it. Hawk flies over, birds can run to cover. Not stuck right out in the wide open. Little clover patch down in here we got to resurrect in the little orchard. Got plum trees, pear trees, apple trees, and all the big trees you see on the plot are oaks, whites and reds. This will come out, but this is what I don't want. This is thousands and thousands of turnip seeds that I don't want reseeding in this plot. It just gets too overpopulated. So that's why I'm taking it off. We're going to leave this pocket of wheat right here. You can see it. We'll take this strip of turnips out until you hit that pocket of wheat right there. You can see where the type changes. So we're going to take that off right here. We're going to take this out. This is turnips. We're going to take that out until it gets to the wheat. Same thing up here. Got a little bit of rye up on this little plot planting. And take this last strip of clover or turnips out. See if this clover bounces in. This is actually Dad wants to put this northeast corner into clover, which is fine. We'll leave the nice wheat and rye standing up here. You can see taller stuff, that's the rye. Take this turnip out so we don't have a good reseed of turnip. And we'll probably plant this in September to clover and a grain mix. Probably going to do wheat just because of the soil types that I have. And it's just a better producer, I think, and it's better quality. And you can see it a lot different rather than a big stand of rye that looks 10 feet tall. That's hard to see fawns and stuff like that into when you're mowing it. So, leave this standing. Maybe I'll mow it. I haven't quite decided yet. We'll see how it goes when I spin around in here. A little bit more I got to take off here. Talking about weed identification and the importance of it. I know this is a long video, but a lot of good information in it. This is chet grass, or chess is called, and some people call it chess too. We have a lot of this in a lot of our fields, thinking it came in with the mowers, and we're getting ahead of it this year before this seed is viable. So we'll mow this pocket off right here of wheat. We got some Timothy coming up. There's some orchard grass in here, some other stuff that I just don't really want in this section of this food plot. So this one I'm standing in right now will come off. Even though it's pretty decent wheat, there's a lot of grass in this too. So looking at the difference between something like a Timothy versus we got some reed canary grass coming up in here. We got the chess in here we talked about, but it's much different than that wheat head, which these are gonna be just deer food here in another couple weeks, going on a month. This will get this rest of this turnip out in this pocket. This little pocket of wheat I'll leave, but you see where it changes. You see the change right here. This change, that's the grasses that are coming in, a little bit of rye, a little bit thinner there. Might have been a little wet this year and the wheat died out. So we'll be able to take that off, take off that little turnip off the top, take that little patch of Timothy out. Might have got missed with the sprayer, tough to say. And then we talk about problem weeds that we have. And one that really plagues us in a lot of our plots, and why we have to start getting back to basics of cereal grains and just high quality, the right kind of species, is we have curly dock in a lot of our fields. So these curly dock that are seeding out right now, just starting to form that seed, we'll get these mowed off real quick. So any place I'm seeing them, I'm going to cut them down. There was a pocket of it right here, because this actually gets fairly wet. There wasn't a lot of wheat here either. But you see this is curly dock. We talked about this. There's a weed of the week video on this. I might even put that in the description as well. But this is curly dock. I want to get this mowed so we can spray this, control this. This will be buckwheat down in here. This end of June or so, we'll get it in. And then we'll probably go grains or turnips. We might do turnips because this will be only the second year. This would be turnips if we put it to turnips again this year. So that's the reason why I'm mowing little pockets like this too. To escape cover. It's a place where mama turkey can be out here in the big wide open and have these babies in this protected, especially from avatory predators when they're young. They can get down in that, bug around, just like I saw them doing so in this this past week. So that's what we got going on. Some more screen coming in down here. That's why we got this sprayed off. Probably another spray and plant that soon. Like to get that in sometime in mid to late June. Even 1st of July is done okay, even into late July if the conditions are right. So got a little bit more mowing to do. I know it looks kind of screwy, but identify your weeds. If you have problem weeds, get out ahead of them like we did up here in this northwest corner, because this is looking absolutely phenomenal from a control standpoint. Nice little water feature right here. Great for amphibians. Turkeys here drinking, deer here drinking. And this usually doesn't dry up in the summertime. This is probably 4 or 5 foot deep. We dug this out, and it also lets us drain this field off a lot better too. So that's the reasoning behind putting that little water hole in. It's good for the wildlife in some aspect. It's not really a hunting draw necessarily, but it's something that's here, and it helped with our drainage issue we had in this end of the field. You can see that there's still a little bit of a seam of a wet pocket right here where the wheat just didn't take, won't handle that wet feet. So that's what we're dealing with, guys. And actually we got a lot of, this might actually be a 2,4-D spray ASAP, because we got Pennsylvania smartweed coming up right here. Again, another one that we need to get out and ahead of so we don't have problem issues. That's why I'm not doing a lot of tilling anymore. Most of my plots, if you follow my videos, are going into more of a no-till application, just because of you're not bringing up all these weed seeds year after year, and mowing at the right times, not letting us mow and spread seeds like you would see at maybe a late summer planting where I'd be spreading all these seeds that are coming up. Now I get out, get ahead of them, and get them under control in a lot of these plots where they kind of run a little rampant, so to speak. So, and actually the crimson clover that's out here that was sprayed bounced back fairly good. So clover will bounce back pretty decent with a rye or a glyphosate application, Roundup. As you can see, that's bouncing back, but I don't really want this crimson in here. It was just planted up to this edge, but this will be a annual screen this year across this top, break these plots up. Might even be a strip of screening down in the bottom. We'll see how it lays out after it gets done mowing and how clover bounces back. But again, I'm going in with a plan, but not being afraid to make some tweaks. And I'll just give you guys a little teaser, because I think this video is going on 13 or so minutes. So we'll put a second video up on the south side, so stay tuned for that, or tune back into the channel on it. And we'll talk about what we're doing with the south side, because it needs a lot of work. So thank you all for tuning in this video. Make sure you tune in for the south side part 2 of this west side fruit plot story, and we'll go from there. And then the extension down there, which will probably be one more year of management down there. I don't know if we'll get there. Got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of plans, a lot of family stuff going on right now, so I don't know if we'll get to it. If we do, that'd be great, but if not, we'll just keep working through it. So well, thank you guys for tuning in. Check out part 2 coming up here in another couple days, and I'll catch y'all next time here in the field. Take care, guys.